You're watching Veg TV.
These are Tosteds, dry roasted soy nuts from Chambers Family Farms. They have a third less fat than peanuts, and they come to you from the same people that make Laura beans, the best soybeans for making soy milk, tofu, and soy yogurt. We're going to make turtles. Turtles are these really cool candies, chocolate with fruit, and sometimes they're made in turtle shapes, but we're just going to make these luscious chocolates with maple Tosteds. And all these wonderful ingredients, pistachios and dairy-free chocolate chips and golden raisins and cocoa. The first ingredient, 2 cups of Tosteds. I have 1 cup in the bowl. I'm going to add another cup. 2 cups of Tosteds going right into this bowl. The next thing I'm going to add, a cup of dairy-free chocolate chips. And the next thing I'm going to add is a cup of golden raisins. Our next ingredient, pistachios, 3/4 of a cup of shelled pistachios. Stir that around and set this aside. This is a 1/2 cup of unsweetened cocoa. I'm pouring it into this handled wire mesh colander, and I'm going to sift it through like that. This is a 1/2 cup, only takes a minute. And you're going to measure it before you sift it. These are going to be really chocolatey. This is Wholesome Sweeteners agave. I'm going to heat up this agave in the microwave for about 60, maybe 90 seconds to get it good and hot. While the agave was heating, I transferred the sifted cocoa powder to a larger bowl, one with a lip that I can pour with, and I'm going to add the hot agave to my cocoa powder. I'm going to whisk that together. This is a teaspoon of xanthan gum. It's a thickener. I'm going to sift it into our syrup. Looks good. I'm adding 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, and that's all there is to it. And it's thickening up, and that's our syrup for our candy. And I'm going to pour it like this. You can see the xanthan gum at work, but that's going to keep our turtles together. And it's beginning to look like candy. Now it's a little sticky. I'm going to spray this parchment paper on the cookie sheet with olive oil. The only oil I will ever use is olive oil. It's monounsaturated. Actually good for you. Here's a tablespoon and a thin spatula. So I'm going to take a heaping tablespoon and place it right on the parchment paper, like that. There's no refined sugar. No added fat. The only fat will come from the chocolate chips and the pistachios. They're dairy-free, refined sugar-free, and rich in phytochemicals from the Tosteds. Really crunchy and so tasty. Now I'm going to fill this pan. I'm going to fill a couple of pans with these Tosteds turtles, and I'm going to stick them in the freezer, and they're not going to freeze. After 15 minutes in the freezer, you can take them right out and bite into them, and they won't be frozen. And when you make these, they're going to be so delicious. We'll be right back. Tasty Tosteds turtles, fresh from the freezer, 15 minutes, and we can bite into them. They are absolutely delicious because they are made with Tosteds maple roasted soy nuts. And just before I put my turtles into the freezer, I sprinkled them with a little bit of powdered sugar. But this is powdered sugar from Wholesome Sweeteners. It is totally unrefined, nothing but ground sugar cane, and it has a creamy, creamy flavor. You're going to love it. There's no refined sugar in these turtles, and I am going to take a bite. Oh my God, chocolate chip. Really delicious. Made with Tosteds from Chambers Family Farms. You have got to try these.